We are going to discuss all about the offload and onload release system that we have on our debit launch lifeboat. Right. So we have here the forward portion of the lifeboat. So this is the release hook forward, and this is the release hook on the after portion of the lifeboat, no? And then, okay, so this is the release hook. Then we have here the hydrostatic interlock. Then we have the coxswain release handle. So on the right side of our screen, we have here the picture, no, of the actual release handle, which is not animated. So as you can see here, we have the emergency or interlock handle. So this yellow one. And then it is pointed towards the lock or green portion, which means that the release release located forward and aft portion of the lifeboat is still on the lock mode, no? Which means that we could not release the falls yet, no, attached to the lifeboat, because here there will be a falls, no, so attached to the lifeboat. So we have here a release wire connection connected from this release handle, coxswain release handle, going to the forward release hook and the after release hook. So this is responsible for opening from the release handle, coxswain release handle. Okay, so when we say normal release procedure, this talks all about the offload release system. So which means that the ship is totally waterborne. Okay, so this is the lifeboat. So as you can see here in the offload release system, these two plays an important role. We have the hydrostatic interlock, and then we have the coxswain release handle. So as you can see, it is still on the lock status, no? The interlock handle is still on the lock status, since the lifeboat is not yet on the water or not yet waterborne. So let's try to see what will happen if we are going to lower the lifeboat. Okay, so this will happen, no? The diaphragm will going to push the piston, and that piston, once pushed, will going to trigger the changing of status of this interlock handle from lock position going to red, which means we can already operate and open the release hook. So this is the after release hook, this is the forward release hook, this is the hydrostatic interlock diaphragm, and then this is the coxswain release handle. Okay, so again, this is for offload release, no? Okay, so let's try to see. So the first step in doing this, of course, we need to ensure, no, that the hydrostatic interlock will going to shift from lock position going to the open. No? Bear in mind that the lifeboat is already waterborne during this time. So after seeing that the hydrostatic interlock handle changes from green to red, which means that we could open already the release hooks both forward and aft. So we should remove first the safety pin and then pull the release handle, coxswain release handle upward, and after that you pull it backward. And that's the time that we are going to release, no, the falls from our lifeboat. I mean, when the lifeboat is fully waterborne. Now, what will happen if the lifeboat is released already? Okay, so after releasing, then the lifeboat could proceed as far as practicable away from the sinking vessel. Alright. Now let's proceed to the emergency or what we call as onload release system. Onload release system happens only if number one, the hydrostatic interlock piston has something or has a problem, no, and does not engage or what I mean to say is the hydrostatic interlock does not change its status from lock position to open, even if the craft or survival craft or what we call as the totally enclosed lifeboat is fully waterborne. So which means that there is a problem on the hydrostatic interlock unit at the bottom of the lifeboat. So we could not fix that one. So what are we going to do is do the onload release, no? Onload release system. So let's watch the clip. So we have here the hydrostatic interlock unit, okay, and then the coxswain release handle. So the craft is already waterborne, fully waterborne, but the piston did not move upward. So probably this is because of some problems, no? And because of this, we could not move away from the vessel, no? Since we are still connected to the folds, no? Both forward and aft. So what are we going to do is to manually change, no, the position of the interlock handle, because if we are not going to change this one from lock to open, no, we could not move, no? We could not move the release handle. Even if we move it upward, yes, we can move it upward, but we could not move it backward, no? Because the reason for that is the hydrostatic interlock handle is not yet changed from lock position going to the open position, because it was not triggered by the hydrostatic interlock unit automatically. So which means that we are going to do this on load. Alright. So we have here the after release hook, forward release hook, and then the coxswain release handle, and then we have the hydrostatic release unit. So let's assume that the craft is still waterborne, no? It's already waterborne, yet the hydrostatic interlock handle, no? This one is still on the lock position. So what happened is the hydrostatic release unit was not effective, or probably it has a problem. So even if we are going to remove the pin and going to pull it upward, we could not pull it downward, no? We could not pull it downward. Oh. So if this happened, then what are we going to do? So use the safety pin attached to the coxswain release handle to change manually the position of the emergency override or interlock handle from lock position to open position. So again, this is done only in an emergency. Then that's the time that we are going to operate it by means of pulling it upward and pulling it backward consecutively, and that's the time that it will also open. Now, we have also a case like, for example, if there is a huge waves, no, all around the ship, upon launching this one, the lifeboat, no, because we could not demand the type of weather, no, upon abandonment of the ship. So of course, there is a possibility that the weather is unfavorable, no? So in these cases, if the waves are reaching beyond 2 meters, if we are going to make our craft or lifeboat fully waterborne, what will happen is our craft will going to fend off towards the ship. So there is a possibility of damage. So what are we going to do? So we are going to use this emergency or onload release system and not the offload to minimize the damage or to avoid the damage towards the craft and injury towards our personnel. So we are going to do this one, but carefully. So we are going to lower first the lifeboat going to 1 meter above the water or less, probably half a meter or 1 meter, and that's the time that we are going to use the onload release system, no, in which we are going to manually shift the position of the emergency override or interlock handle going to the open position, because it will not be activated, no? Since as I have mentioned to you, we are 1 meter above the water, and the hydrostatic interlock unit will not work unless we are fully waterborne. Right? So that's the other scenario here, no? We are going to use the onload release system of our lifeboat. So after releasing, so the same procedure, you move away from the sinking ship immediately. Okay, so for the resetting of hook or the recovery of the lifeboat from the water, like for example, we are just going to do a drill and we are going to use our lifeboat, we are going to deploy our lifeboat at sea since we are required by SOLAS regulation, specifically chapter 3, life-saving equipment or life-saving appliances, I mean, to launch it every 3 months. So, we need to reset the release hook so that we will be able to recover the lifeboat. Right, so these are the procedures. Of course, the hydrostatic, the release handle here, coxswain release handle, as well as the both forward and aft release hook is very vital, no, for this operation. Right. So again, we have the forward and aft release hook. We have also the coxswain release handle. So the craft or the lifeboat is still waterborne, no? So the craft is still waterborne. Okay? So the first thing we need to do is to close the release hook forward and aft. So after the coxswain, ask the person in charge for this one because we have a door on the, opening on the forward side of the vessel for the personnel to reset this one, and also we have a door on the after portion to reset the after part release hook. So after confirming that it is already on the lock position, no? So the coxswain can already reset, no, the release handle, coxswain release handle, okay, to lock position. Right. So once you can already uh, put on the safety pin, it means that it is already locked. But if you cannot push it further maximum, it means that there is a problem, no? There is a somewhat like interference, no, in between. So it should be double check and repeat the steps. Okay. Now, as you notice, no, as you notice in this step, no, the override or interlock handle does not move automatically from the open position to lock position, which is color green. No? So, should already attach the falls, no? Falls of the debit going to the debit, no? So after that, okay, after attaching the debit falls, fall wires, right. So as you can see here, the hydrostatic interlock unit piston is still on its upward position. That is why our emergency override interlock handle here does not change yet. No? But look after what will happen. Okay. So once the lifeboat is out of the water, so the piston will go down. And that's the time that the interlock handle will change to setting from open to lock, which is color green. And that's the time that we are going to stay, no? The lifeboat, no? The lifeboat will going to stay there 1 meter above the water for about 1 to 2 minutes, no? To ensure that the procedure or the release handle is okay, the release hooks are okay, to double check everything at least 2 minutes, no? And after that, we can already proceed with the securing. So this process should be carefully done, no? Because if we will not do this carefully, this will happen. So let us watch this clip. So as you can see here, we have our friends from Russia. No? Then we are trying to recover the lifeboat. No? They are trying to recover the lifeboat. So this is the gravity type davit. This is commonly found on board ships. Right? So this is the totally enclosed lifeboat. Okay? As you can see, no? So they are trying to make it stable, no? But pay close attention to this one. Okay? Right. Okay. Watch what will happen. Okay. So, all right. So if we are not going to do this carefully, probably happen to us. So we need to ensure the safety of the crew, no, as well as the lifeboat, no, because a ship could not sail if we have a damaged lifeboat. So that would be all. Shout out to UC Marinos. I hope that all of you guys are doing fine. So we have to deal with this pandemic, and we need to be extra careful because of this Delta variant. So again, shout out to all of you guys. And to my best friend, Anjo Montero, second meet Anjo Montero. Um, Shout out to you, and also to the newly um, admin, of UC Marinos, Captain Roy Cabrera, also an active member of the Stella Maris. No? Okay, so again, shout out to everyone. I hope that you are going to subscribe on this channel. If you are new here, please help our channel grow. Your like, subscribe, as well as hitting the notification bell will make you be updated of the future videos which we will be uploading. So again, thank you for watching the entire clip. I hope to see you soon. So keep safe, sound, and healthy. Once again, this is at your service, Shipmate John Ray Serum. Thank you and God bless.